This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Ascension Parish Finance Committee on April the 2nd. Brian, will you please lead us in prayer? And Dempsey, will you please lead the pledge?
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time to come together and do the very important financial business of the parish. We ask that throughout this meeting you will guide our thoughts and our mouths. Give us the wisdom to make the right decisions. We ask that you bless every person in this room and their families, and keep them safe. And through all these storms, we just ask you to do all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All members are present, and there are no chair additions tonight. I will remind the public that if you desire to speak, this is the time at which you need to come forward and let the secretary know. You'll have 3 minutes in which to speak on an item at the time. Moving on to general business, item number 5, monthly contracts report. Ms. Kimlin Bailey Lomas.
Yes, the monthly contract reports for the month of March 2012 is included in your packets. I'll give you a moment to look over it. Let me know if you have any questions.
Councilman Joseph, you have a question?
One question, assist in the Metropolitan Planning Organization. What is that?
We secured those 3 companies for a study. What I can provide to you is a copy of the contract in depth tomorrow, and we can discuss it, but that's basically what it's for. They're doing a study.
That was approved on, I believe it was the 16th of February by this council.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
was that for the STP projects over 200,000?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Which is the first time we are submitting projects for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. So,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
okay.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
One question, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
Number 5, outdoor living landscape maintenance for the parish facility.
Yes, sir.
What facilities was that? This was performed at?
We have several that it's being performed at. I can give you a list.
I like that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Item number 6, Martha Collins will provide an overview and update of the grant programs for 2011 and January through March of 2012. Welcome, Ms. Martha, and thank you for being with us.
Madam Chairman, members of the council, I've been given a 5-minute request to go through the grants, so I'm going to do it very quickly for you. And then you can, after the presentation, I'll be happy to get with you later on it. I did not provide handouts to you, so we'll just go through this fairly quick, and hopefully you'll get a little bit. This is basically for the new members that have not seen this presentation, just to give you a feel for what we're doing. This is the staff. Hermina Irvin is the Assistant Grants Officer. Michelle Rabin and Latricia Anthony are Grants Coordinator. Mr. Bob Turner is the project manager for the FEMA projects, and Jen Laos is the project manager for CDBG. Currently, we administer 84 active grants, about 49.1 million, and of that, approximately 299,000 is for admin fees. So that what we're doing is that's actually going back in to the general fund to offset on either materials or salaries. These are the types of grants that we're currently working with. This is the federal. These are our state. These are some of the major accomplishments. The Lamar Dixon Expo Center, we were able to close 6 grants and within a year's period that equals to the 7.5 million that allowed us to purchase the Lamar Dixon. EPA STAG grant, this has been going on since 2003, I believe, and we have just finished this. It's closed but unofficially, and we've been reimbursed all the funds. That was over about 2.3 million on that project. This is the Department of Energy, which came down through DNR, is the Department of Natural Resources. We were given $265,000. With that, we put a new boiler in the jail, we put a compressor out at Lamar Dixon, and we did air conditioning units for the municipalities and throughout the parish. We installed 3 new in Sorrento, 6 in Donaldsonville, 2 in Gonzales, and 10 for the parish. So that's really a lot of things being accomplished with a little bit of money. We did that in-house, so therefore most of the funds went to the projects. The CDBG projects, we've closed 4. These are the ones that we have that are completed. The Gonzales Police Department is basically the financial commitment. It is not, the construction is not completed, but our financial commitment is. We'll track it through the end of the project. The fairgrounds, West Ascension drainage, and the purchase of Lamar Dixon. So all of those have been completed within funding or through the purchase and then the construction. Let's see. The first major thing for the department, for the state, the Office of Community Development, Ascension Parish had the first major acquisition with our going through our applications and these type of things. It was the largest sum of money, the first one to get that amount of money, and we were the first construction project. Now we're doing these projects in-house. We did not hire consultants. Most of the firms did, and so a lot of this is being given back into the projects, and I'm very proud to say that we're doing a fairly good job on making sure our money goes where it needs to be. Audits, this was several things that we feel real good about. The Inspector General's office came in and did an audit on our Office of Emergency Preparedness grants, state agencies, EPA came in, that's a federal audit, another state, and wait, let me go back on that one, and then the Falk and Winkler. This, as a result of those things, we have been cleared with no findings for all of those, and that was done in 2011. The reason why we're here tonight is because, according to the audit and some recommendations through our Falk and Winkler, they requested that we should come to y'all at least quarterly and give you an update. So financially, and to get an update on all the grants. So that's why we're here, and I'm talking fast. Of the CDBG projects, these are some of the major ones. We have 13 projects, 6 are in the municipalities, 7 are in the parish. And to date, We have 10 pre-applications approved, 10 full applications, and 10 environmentals. You can't go forward without having environmental completed so that you can spend the money. Department of Energy, this is another one that we're doing in-house and throughout the grants office. This is for the Ascension St. James Transportation, the airport. They're doing a solar lighting project. It's a pass-through. It comes to the parish, and then we had an agreement with the airport. This should be finished in June. It's going to be really a state-of-the-art runway with the solar lights, and we're real pleased to partner with them. Mr. Lambert, we talked about, when Mr. Root talked about hazard mitigation, this is where we are on that. There's 11 elevations, there's 5 acquisitions, and there's 3 wind hardenings of critical facilities. We recently completed all 5 acquisitions or buyouts. We are pending approval from FEMA on the 11 elevations, and the wind retros we're working through right now. That's on 1603. 1786 is for the wind retrofitting of 7 buildings and 1 safe room, which is the Sorrento pump station. There'll be a safe room over there. And on the other 2, is Lamar Dixon Expo Center, which is the entire complex that they'll be working on. And then the drainage. We started out with 5 areas in the drainage. 4 of them did not meet the requirements. Muddy Creek is the only one that we were able to get past. So we're looking at maybe about $1 million for that one, and hope to have something fairly soon for the approval so we can start. Reimbursements, this is just a quick snapshot. 2011, out of the grants, $2,509,000 were programmed, and then the admin fees are about $50,000. 2012, this ought to make you happy. We have $2.9 million collected between January and March. We have $29,000, approximately $30,000 in admin fees, and the total is close to $3 million. That is funding that we have already processed, spent, and got reimbursed for. The pending reimbursement, these are reimbursement requests that we have submitted, but we've not been paid for. One we have in 2011. This is a throwback to the old FEMA HMPG funds that we've gone back out and got approval to get reimbursed for. And then January through March, we have $178,000. So this list used to be about 2 pages, and now we are current, basically January through March, with just this amount of money that has been spent and been reimbursed. So in conclusion, I can't go any faster. We're real proud of the Grants Department and Administration for having the Grants Department with no findings. And a lot of the state agencies and the federal agencies use our office as a model to bring down, to do pilot programs. We just did a monitoring for OCD, and they brought down 14 people. So we trained them on monitoring and by allowing them to come in. So with that, I am finished.
Don't move.
Oh, wait, I got a date here coming. No,
Was
just
this a
kidding.
self-imposed 5 minutes? Because I don't recall
I
imposing
know,
such a thing.
but I understand there's a lot of things happening tonight, so.
We appreciate that, but I want to take a moment, if you don't mind, to say that I am extremely proud of the presentation you have delivered. I appreciate, on behalf of the citizens of Ascension Parish, the work that the Grants Department does, and I acknowledge that that doesn't happen in a silo, that each and every department in this administration makes that happen. from the maintenance man to the parish president. And I thank you all on behalf of the citizens. I look forward to your quarterly reports, and I will allow these other gentlemen, if they have a comment or questions to ask, to do so now.
Martha, real quick, I want to thank you very much. Once more, echo what she said, but I definitely want to thank you for all the work that you guys have done in taking over what we've had in drainage and picking up some of the pieces there and working to get all that straight. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work. You and the staff, everybody.
Yeah, well, it's not like Chairwoman Casso said. We're only effective if the departments give us the tools and the information. So without working with finance and the other departments, we can't be successful. So it takes everyone, and everyone can be proud of us being able to accomplish this, because it is a major task, but we all work together to get it done. So my staff is really good. I'm very proud of them. I don't do all this. It's a team effort all the way around. So I thank you, and I'm sure they appreciate the compliments of working hard and seeing the reactions to these.
Councilman Satterley.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Ms. Collins, I too would like to thank you for an excellent presentation. I noticed in the Finance Committee agenda item request that this was particularly done for the first-term council members, and that's something that I need, and I really appreciate, because it's a good education. And I'd just like to say that I farm our grants writer myself, and this is an incredible record that you've just shown here, and I congratulate you on it, and keep up the good
My
work.
staff and I appreciate that.
I have two quick questions, and they're just
Sure.
points of information, totally.
Okay.
You mentioned the parish internal audit by, I believe it was Falk and Winkler? Mm-hmm. Who paid for that audit?
Ms. Gwen?
Is that an in-house thing? Do we pay for that?
Yes,
Okay. And then number two, you mentioned a grant to purchase the South Louisiana Fairgrounds.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are we doing with that property? And what was its, is that what I
That's
read in
for
the newspaper during the week?
It's for recreation. We actually purchased with the Community Development Block Grant
Okay,
funds for the recreation area, and I believe there's some other added amenities that they're looking for in the future to develop it.
so will that be coming, I don't know if this question is for you, Ms. Collins, or our chair lady, in front of the Recreation Committee that I sit on?
Will it be coming to them?
I would assume so.
I'm sure that since it's a recreation facility, Mr. President.
We haven't
No,
had a
we purchased.
recreation
Right.
committee meeting in quite a few months, and I think there's one coming up next week. And yes, that facility has been there for many, many years as far as a baseball complex and recreation facility. We currently have our Public Works building there on the west side, and there's several other plans for the facility in the future. We got I guess, some Gustav money, some damages that were done to some pavilions there, and we're rebuilding them. We bid them out a couple of weeks ago. Those are going to be really, really nice next to the Lemon Center there. Future plans for a possible water park there also.
Oh, very fine, look forward to working on that.
Right, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martha. You may go now. Trying to run away from us. Item number 7, the sales and use tax report. Ms. Gwen LeBlanc.
Good afternoon, members of the Finance Committee. You have before you your regular sales and use tax report. It represents collections in the month of February, and that would represent January sales. You can see by our 3 taxing districts, East Ascension Drainage, our 2 rural sales tax districts, number 1 and number 2. Collections compared to the same month last year, and then below that line, it would be year to date. And you can see they're positive all the way down. And then on the far right-hand side, you can see the comparison to the budgets so far this year. We're at 16.66% of the budget, and you can see the collections are above budget. drainage, they're above 4.24%, and district number 1, 5.38%, and sales tax district number 2 is above 4 point some percent. Forgot to do that one. So if you turn the page, you can see on the bar chart, that's just using the sales tax district number 1 now, and this is year to date, which represents 2 months of collections, versus the same time in 2011. Red is 2012. You can see consumer retail, and all across the chart, you can see that 12 is up compared to 11 for the first 2 months. Percentage-wise, under consumer retail is up 9.57%. Motor vehicles are up for the first 2 months over 11, 10.59%. Business to business plus 14.1%, and the petrochemical industry and their suppliers are up 12 over 2011, 14.2%. And then the next chart, it also represents just the 1 cent sales tax district, and this is not scientific, it's just a survey that the sales tax district does to try to provide you with information about where your sales taxes are being derived from. You can see the largest is the petrochemical industry and their suppliers at 53% so far. Consumer retail falls next at 32%. Motor vehicle sales 11%, and business to business 4%. And once again, this is using just the 1 cent sales tax district. Then the last page is the historical depiction of our sales tax collections in each of the 3 districts. And you can see the yellow represents the beginning of the year through February on each year. And you can see that what we said at the beginning, the first chart, that so far, thus far this year, is above 11 in all 3 districts. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
I don't see any indication of questions, Ms. Gwynn, and I thank you very much for that in-depth report. Moving along to item number 8, Revenue and Expenditure Report, Ms. Amanda Barak.
Good evening. Tonight I'll be reporting on the 2011 unaudited year-end financial report and the February 2012 financial report. The first report is 2011 unaudited year-end report. Our total revenue budget for 2011 was $101 million rounded. We received a total of $112 million, which was 10.86% above the budget for revenues. The items highlighted in green on the report were 5% or more under the budget. General fund and road and bridge was under budget because they did not need as much funds from the sales tax to balance their expenses in accordance with our budget ordinance. Lamar-Dixon miscellaneous revenues didn't come in as expected. HUD closed some special programs and we had to refund the money back to HUD. And 2 of the other funds are due to interest earnings. On page 2, your total expenditure budget for 2011 was $118 million rounded. We spent a total of $110 million, which was 6.3% below our budget for expenditures. The items highlighted in green were 5% or more over the budget. Sales tax 1 and 2 were over the budget due to the increased collections. Criminal court was over due to half of the fund balance transferred to general fund in accordance with state law. The Tourism Commission is over due to their appropriation increase, which was due to their increase in hotel-motel tax. And Lighting District number 1 utilities came in a little higher than expected. The next page is just a chart that compares your year operating and capital revenues and expenditures to your budget. And then 4 and 5 is just an explanation of the funds that were highlighted in green. So that is your year-end report. The next report is your financial report for the month of February, which is 16.67% of the year. On page 1, total revenues are at 13.61%. On page 2, expenditures are at 28.76%. And on page 4 and 5 of the report is an explanation of the items that are highlighted in green that are 5% under budget for revenues or 5% or more over budget for expenditures. On page 3 are charts that compare the year-to-date revenue and expenditures for operating, which is the yellow bar, and capital, which is the blue bar, to the budget, which is the green bar. And then the last page of the report on page 6 is a listing of checks that were issued for the month of February over $100,000, and the total of these checks is $2,934,021.12. If y'all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Gentlemen, does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, we'll move along. Thank you so much, Amanda, for producing this document for us. Item number 9, bid items. Joan Shivers, Purchasing Manager.
On March 27, 2012, the Purchasing Department received 2 bids for non-elevated transportable aluminum angle frame bleachers. After review, the Purchasing Department and Lamar Dixon Expo Center recommend accepting the lowest responsive bid from Han Enterprises Incorporated, and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this project.
Motion to accept the bid from Han Enterprises.
Second.
Have a motion by Chris Lohr, a second by Councilman Shakespeare. Kent, that we accept the bid by Han Enterprises. Do I hear any objections? The motion passes.
On March 27, 2012, the Purchasing Department received 1 bid for coal mix application for use on parish roads. After review, the Purchasing Department and DPW recommend accepting the lowest responsive bid from Material Resources, LLC, and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this project.
Make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson and a second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert to accept the bid for coal mix. Do I have any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
On March 27, 2012, the Purchasing Department received 1 bid for CRS-2 asphalt emulsion. After review, the Purchasing Department and Department of Public Works recommend accepting the lowest responsive bid from Asphalt Products Unlimited, and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this project.
Motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Chairman.
Have a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert and a second by Councilman Dempsey by Councilman Dan Satterly to approve the lowest bid on Asphalt Products Unlimited. Do I have any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Motion adjourned, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.